Okay, here I'm going to actually do a 1-point perspective drawing. And okay, so this is horizon line and vanishing point. I'm going to do a series of buildings as if we're looking down on them from above. So I'm going to start with a square. This is a simple drawing, and it is just like the 1-point perspective boxes. Actually, I'm going to start with a rectangle. I'm making it a little bit higher. You can use a ruler for this if you want. Okay. Doesn't look quite straight. Hold on. Now I'm going to connect this to the vanishing point. And this to the vanishing point. And I'm going to make a bottom for the building. Okay. Now, these measuring lines, maybe even a little bit higher. These measuring lines would be erased. So you're going to do a lot of erasing when you start doing a drawing. Okay. Now I'm going to go, say if the building had windows on it, I'm going to make a line from here to the vanishing point and a line from here to the vanishing point. I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit more. Okay. Say it had a series of windows going down the front. So this line would be straight side to side. Now here, you could use the fence post method, but you could also just eyeball and say, well, I know that the windows are getting closer together as we go towards the vanishing point. So I'm just putting them in that way. Okay. So you can either use fence post method or freehand eyeballing method. Artists use both. Okay, I'm going to erase these lines right here. Okay, now say there's a terrace on the roof. So like this point is going to go to the vanishing point. This point is going to go to the vanishing point. Okay, this is going to go straight up and down, straight side to side, and straight up and down. So again, it's just like the 1-point boxes, but it's just a little more complex. We're making them into buildings now. Okay. All right. I'm going to erase some of these lines here. And I'm going to leave that alone, except for I'm going to do a little more shading here. I can go back over this later and define with a colored pencil. So say there's a building that's overlapping. So now we're getting into overlapping, which we didn't do with the boxes. So basically the buildings are a series of overlapping boxes. In one point, all lines are vertical or horizontal or going to the one vanishing point. So I'm making another building right here. This is just straight up and down, okay? And this side of the building is going to connect to the vanishing point. And this is going to go straight side to side, okay? Now, if I wanted to make a series of windows, I'm going to make another line that connects to the vanishing point right here. And that will be overlapping. So I'm going to do like maybe a window right here. Be a little lower. And remember, they get smaller and closer together as they go towards the vanishing point. So I'm going to shade those in. Okay. And it's not perfect because I didn't use the fence post method. I eyeballed it, but it's good enough for a beginning drawing. Depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you were doing a drawing for an architect, you might want to use the fence post method. Okay. Now, what if I want to put a chimney on this building? I'm going to start with the square. And I'm going to connect from here to the vanishing point, here to the vanishing point, and here to the vanishing point, just like a box in 1 point perspective. Then I'm going to go straight down and straight side to side. That's kind of a large chimney, but that's fine. Okay. Now, if I want to make another building on this side, I am going to make a box like this, a square or a rectangle. And this is going to go to the vanishing point. Okay, and I'm going to find a bottom for the building. Okay. Then, say I want a chimney over here, I'm going to make a square. Then I'm going to connect this side to the vanishing point. This side to the vanishing point. and this side to the vanishing point. Then I'm going to go straight side to side and straight up and down. Okay. Now, if I want, let me just erase this measuring line. If I want windows on this, I'm going to make a line from the vanishing point on here to help me get started. So once you get pretty good at this, you can look at a photograph, or you can go outside and look at buildings and have that be your inspiration, or you can look at a photograph to start or a drawing. And then, but once you get kind of good at it and practice, you can also do it from out of your head. Okay, then I'm going to erase these lines in here. Okay, let's put some, well, I'll do one or two more on each side. So I'm going to do one that is a bit lower. The farther away from the vanishing point that they get, the more distorted they're going to seem in perspective. You go like that. Okay. Like they're going to seem more and more out of proportion, but in proportion, in perspective. Okay, so here I'm going to connect to the vanishing point, connect to the vanishing point, and I'm going to go right here. So here, this is the first building that we've seen two sides. Here's one side and here's the other side. Okay. And I'm going to make a terrace on the top of this. So I'm going to go from this corner to the vanishing point, then straight up and down, and straight side to side. Okay. Then I'm going to, let me just block in a bunch of buildings and then we'll see what I want to do or we want to do with the surfaces. So I'm going to put one here a little bit lower as well. I don't want to make this video too long. Okay. So I'm going to connect from here to the vanishing point, here to the vanishing point, and here to the vanishing point. Then this is going to go straight side to side and straight up and down, just like a box, but it just looks more distorted if it's farther away from the vanishing point. I'm going to erase these measuring lines. Okay. Sorry, I got a little. All right, so let's do some on the bottom. I'm going to do one right here. I am using the ruler for these lines because I don't want them to get too distorted. Okay. All right, now I'm going to connect this to the vanishing point and this to the vanishing point. And I'm going to pick a bottom. Okay. I'm going to put a building over here. Whoops. And then I'm going to connect this to the vanishing point. And then this goes straight across. I'm going to make one over here, making it a little bit lower so it's not the same level as it's for variation. Okay. Now I'm going to connect and pick a bottom. Just erasing some of the measuring lines. Okay. Now I'm going to make one right here that's a little lower. Then I'm going to connect this to the vanishing point, this to the vanishing point, and this to the vanishing point. Then I'm going to come up with a bottom. So it seems more distorted as it moves farther away from the vanishing point. Okay, and let's put one more over here. I'm going to have this overlapping. Okay, now this point is going to the vanishing point. This point is going to the vanishing point. This is going straight up and down on this side and straight side to side on this side. Okay. So now I have a series of buildings. I'm going to put some stuff on them just so they don't look so blank. So here I'm going to do a terrace. They're kind of all kind of similar, but okay. This is going to go straight side to side and straight up and down. Okay. Now if I want windows, I'm going to kind of connect that to the vanishing point and right here. And then I'm going to make some windows. Okay. They're not perfect again because I'm eyeballing the distance, but I know they get closer together and they're narrower as they go towards the vanishing point. Okay. Then I would erase the lines in between. Whoops, kind of smudge that pencil. Then I can make chimneys. So here's a square. And then I'm going to connect this to the vanishing point, which is like a smaller box within a box. This to the vanishing point, and this to the vanishing point. This is going to go straight up and down and straight side to side. Okay. Now, say I wanted to put, I don't want to spend that much longer doing this because I think you kind of get the idea, but say I wanted to put some windows on this one where you see two sides. You could make two lines here, right? And then on here, same thing. And closer. Okay. So just because in case you want to do something like this where you see two sides. So here, we're going to do the same thing that we've done. But on this side, the windows, so here the lines for the windows were side to side, and here they're going up and down or vertical. And same with if there were bricks. Okay. So on this side, they would be going this way. So just something to think about if you ever want to do anything on one surface and then on another surface. They look more distorted on this side as well. Okay. And then you would erase the lines here. Okay. Say I want a terrace on this one. I'm going to go from here to the vanishing point. This is going to go straight up and down, straight side to side. And let's put a chimney here. I'm doing the same things, just varying it a little. This is very basic, but it's a starting point. Vanishing point, vanishing point, and vanishing point. Okay. And I'm going to put a terrace on this one. So this is going to the vanishing point. So make sure all your diagonals are going to the vanishing point, and then you'll be fine. Straight side to side. Straight up and down. Okay. And I'm going to put in a couple more windows, and I think that'll be it for this drawing, and maybe outline with the pencil. So for this windows, I'm going to go here to the vanishing point. I'm going to lower that line. Again, if you want this to be really precise, you could use the fence post method. Okay, there are my windows on that one. And here, I'm going to go from here to the vanishing point and use that for my windows. Just making them get closer together and narrower as they go towards the vanishing point. So there are my windows. So the only thing else I would do on this drawing is put in maybe a few more windows and outline with the black colored pencil to make it stand out a little bit more. I am going to stop here.